So yeah, we're live. We are on episode number 3 now. Broadcasting once again from my glorious kitchen. Great to see you guys. So yeah, I'm hoping that a few of you can join us in the chat room today. We've got a couple of people watching so far. Oh, they're starting to pour in now. But guys, if you are watching, please say hello. Drop us a little message in the chat feed. In fact, I'm going to bring that up now so you can all see when people are saying hi. There's only me in there at the moment saying hello. So guys, if you're watching, if you've tuned in, say hello. It'd be nice to see you. So yeah, we are here again. My name's David Wicker. For those that don't know who I am, I would imagine that most of you probably do by now. And we are in UK lockdown day number 36. It is, of course, Tuesday, 28th of April. And yeah, I'm hoping I've got quite an exciting show for you today. We've got music. We've got loads of music coming up today. In fact, I'll tell you who we've got music from. We have music today from Mary Flanagan. She sent me in a song before. We got Sammy Hall. Harry Knox, I'm going to play his tune again because I really enjoyed it the other day. It was really good. Another friend of mine, Alex Birtwell, he's going to have some songs on later on. Christian B and Lewis Daniels. And Ben Lockwood Leighton. I have finally downloaded your song and I've got it here ready to play. Thanks for your patience. It was a bit of a rush job the other day. We had a bit of an issue with the sound when I had my guests on. We'd been through it all before the show started. We'd done all the technical stuff and it all seemed to be working fine, but yeah, the wonders of technology. It's great when it works, but when it doesn't want to work, it just doesn't work. Already got a couple of people in the chat room. We've got Amy Riley. Hi, Amy. How are you? Good to see you in there. We've got my cousin Brian as well. So welcome to you guys so far. Still waiting for a few people to join us. I've only just put it out on social media, so hopefully people will click on the link and start listening in. But like I say, yeah, we've got some music and we've got some guests on today as well. We've got some actors, they're both actor and comedians. We've got Toby Hadoke and we've got Dominic Woodward. Now, Toby, he has a long-running comedy night called Excess Malarkey. It started off as a student. In fact, it's still technically a student night. It started off in Fallowfield at Bar Excess way back in 1997. And it's still running to today. He's moved online. He's embracing technology and moved everything online. So we're going to be chatting to Toby later on. And we're also going to be chatting to Dominic Woodward, another great comedian. In fact, I do believe Toby and Dominic have worked together before on a sketch show. So I'll ask Dominic about that when I chat to him. We're going to do a bit of a feature as well later on. I did sort of toy with the idea of doing a feature, which is kind of a homage to a channel called At First We Feast. And it's basically this guy, Sean Evans, he has guests on, celebrity guests, and he have like a line of 10 hot wings. And he basically asks them questions as he's going through all these gradually hot wings. So by the time you get to it, like the celebrities, they're crying, they're like hallucinating because the spice is so intense that they just lose their minds. And it's funny to watch because it kind of brings down the barriers, so it lets him ask questions that he wouldn't normally ask in an interview. So it's a great concept. So I'm going to do my little take on it. I'm going to be doing hot chip. So I've got 5 different levels of spicy sauce. We're going to do this a little bit later on. I had the common sense to record one of my interviews today. So if it all goes pear-shaped and my mouth is on fire for a certain amount of time, then I could put that on and let my face recover before I start talking again. We're going to start off with good old Levi Roots reggae sauce down at sort of 3,000 Scovilles. Then we're going to move up to this scorching chipotle. You know it's going to be hot when it comes in a jar, which is the shape of a a skull. Then we're going to move on to Dragon's Breath. Apparently that's got ghost chili in it, which should be fun. Then we've got one called Psycho Juice, which this could only be a bad thing. This is Scorpion Pepper, Killer Hot Sauce. And then we're going to finish on this little number, Carolina Reaper, in a sauce, in my face, on a chip. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm looking forward to that. I say I'm looking forward to that. I'm not really looking forward to that. So Amy says she's fine. She's bored but healthy, which is always a good thing. I'm pretty good, actually, yeah. Bored as well, as you can see, why I'm broadcasting at the moment. It's boredom that's led me to do this. But at the same time, because I'm here on my own, I figured there's got to be hundreds, thousands of other people persevering this lockdown on their own. So I thought, well, if I could bring like even 5 minutes of entertainment or company to these guys, then great. If not, then, you know, at least I kept myself entertained for a little bit of time. So yeah, a few more people joining us. If you have just joined us, please say hi in the chat room. I want to see who's there. I'll do a little shout out. Also, that hot chip challenge I mentioned, the premise is basically they ask questions as they're eating them. So I need 5 questions from you guys to ask me, so I can eat a hot chip, read a question, try and answer it, and then move on to the next one. So I need 5 questions from you guys. My cousin Mark sent me one the other day, which I can use, so I've got that one. But it could be a question about anything. It could be a topical question, could be a news question, it could be a question about me, could be a question about music. It can literally be about anything. And the more random, the better. It'll just be fun. Yeah, so Brian's asking me if I've trimmed my face hair. Do you know what? I've never had a beard in my life, and then for some reason I decided that I was going to grow one before Christmas, and I got a bit of a goatee going on, and it was something to cultivate for a little bit, but I got bored of it and then shaved it off. Actually, I didn't get bored of it. I got bored of trying to eat with it getting in my mouth, and it was just, yeah, I didn't enjoy it. See, I like my foods too much, so anything that comes in between me eating my food properly, yeah, it went. Thrilling news, I know. But right, okay, we're going to play some music, I think. We're going to start off with a girl called Sammy Hall. She sent me a couple of tunes. I absolutely love these tunes. But yeah, see what you think. So this is Sammy Hall, and I'm going to find the name of the song, but I'll stick it on for you. See what you think.
When I feel my heart can't take no more, and nothing numbs the pain, I close my eyes and dream of you, to see you once again. I can't keep you in the darkness, I can't keep you in the dark, keep you in the darkness. I can't keep you in the dark. you not by my side no more. The smoky sky is grey. I hope to see a rainbow soon. The clouds just bring me rain. I can't keep you in the darkness. I can't keep you in the dark. I can't keep you in the darkness. I can't keep you in the dark.
Oh, I like that. That was Sammy Hall with Run. You can check her out on Sammy Hall Music on Instagram. That's Sammy with an IE on it, by the way. But yeah, I like that. Bit of a drum and bass vibe going on there. So yeah, a couple more people joined us in the chat room. Kevin Moth, really good to see you there, my friend. Another great musician. What I've been doing, guys, I've been asking if anyone's got any original music or anything like that. If they want to send some music in, give themselves a bit of a platform to get their music out there, get it heard. I'm really hoping to build this channel up and just use it as a bit of a platform to promote friends, music, and chatting with guests that come on. It's basically just a bit of fun, bit of banter. Hopefully have a bit of fun doing some games. Like I say, there's a few people joining us now. All the old man's in. Hiya, Dad. So yeah, yesterday I recorded a new rock show for Sound Radio over in Wales. If you've not heard it yet, go and check it out. Soundradio.wales. And I was asked to do a rock show, so I love my rock music. Like, yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely. So I put a rock show together yesterday. Started broadcasting it. And then Virgin had a bit of a meltdown. Unfortunately, they lost my feed, which, it was quite funny because the stuff that the auto machine kicked in, it started playing stuff like ABBA and things like that. So anyone that was tuning in thinking, yeah, this isn't rock. This sounds a bit more like 70s pop music to me, which it was. But they did manage to get the stream back after about half an hour, so they did manage to finish the show. Unfortunately, missed a bit of. I did a bit of a feature on Puddle of Mud. For anyone that's seen their video, that's going absolutely viral right now. For those that haven't seen it, my brother actually sent me a link to this last week. In fact, it was just after I'd done my show last Friday. Was it last Friday? Might have been earlier than that. But he said, "Right, Dave, I've got this video. I'm going to send you the link, and I want to see your reaction to it." So I was like, "Okay, then, no worries." Loaded it up, saw Puddle of Mud about a girl. I thought, oh, this will be good. They've got sort of similar. He's got a similar voice to Kurt Cobain. I thought this will be all right. So I put it on. They start playing, and then he starts singing, and I'm like, what is this? It was a little bit embarrassing. I mean, I have looked into it more. It turns out that they'd done a show the night before, and you know what it's like when you do a show, you let loose. He gives it his all. So he's coming in the morning, really gravelly voice. He's not had a chance to sort of warm up or anything like that. It's like 5, 6 in the morning or something like that, and they're like, right, go and do this cover song. We're going to put you on camera and just let it roll and then put it online. So they do this song. They've obviously recorded it. They can't then turn around and say, yeah, we're not going to put that online. So they put it online. It's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. So I did a piece on that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing rock shows on Sound Radio in Wales every Monday night from 9 o'clock. So if you're kicking your heels at that point in time on a Monday night, tune in. And if you like your rock music, we're doing everything from punk to grunge to metal, all that sort of thing. So we've got some more. Oh, we got some more people in the chat room. We got me mum. Hiya, mum. Angry Pear. It's Dave and Dave Unsworth. Oh, he's one of my DJs. He does a bit of work for me from time to time. Good to see you, Dave. Oh, we got Amy in there as well. How are we doing, Amy? Very good friend of mine. We met in Reading when I used to work at Walkabout. And Joe Nally's in the place as well. Joe Nally, great to see you, my friend. Guys, if you're in the chat room, say hello. I'll do you a little shout out to the last one. We've also got music from the likes of Harry Knox, Ben Lockwood-Layton, Zackless Sage, Alex Birtwell. So it'll all be covers and original music. We've got some guitar stuff, we've got some housey stuff, a little bit of everything. Dean Presto, wow, that's a name I've not seen for a long time. How are you, my friend? One of my old DJ buddies, was it Dino? Was it Zanti or Corfu? It was Zanti, wasn't it, Dino? Yeah. Got Ginger in the place, Dave Reynolds, how are you? All coming up in the chat room right now. This is brilliant. Loads of faces I've not seen for a bit. Thank you for joining us. Basically I'm going to be doing these shows twice a week. Bit of banter, a few guests, bit of music, all that sort of thing, just to, kill a bit of time. And as I said before, I'm going to do a little feature in a bit. I've got some nacho chips, and I'm going to be doing a stupid feature called Hot Chip. For those that haven't seen yet, I've got a line of 5 chili sauces, starting off about 3,000 Scovilles, going up to 1.5 million Scovilles. So for your entertainment, I'm going to be putting my face on fire via ingestion. So this will be funny. And then probably about 5 minutes, we're going to be talking to our first guest. He's an actor and comedian called Dominic Woodward. We're going to get him on shortly. But as I say, with the hot chip thing, I need you guys to send some questions for me to answer as I'm eating these hot chips to see if I just kind of see if I can keep my brain together while I'm ingesting this liquid fire. But yeah, we're going to move on now. I've been sent a video by a lovely girl called Mary. She's going to provide some entertainment for you on the guitar, and we're going to put that on for you right now. Let us know what you think. This is Mary Flanagan with another song.
Every song seems to start like this. On the tip of my tongue, there's an endless list. I'm surprised that it winds up about you. I don't try, but it forms itself around you. Every song seems to end this way. It's like I don't have much else to say. I don't love you anymore. So I wrote these songs about you for. It's not like my head's still filled with you, but I open my mouth and you spill out. And at least I know when the pain is gone, there'll be enough left for one more song. I tell myself it could be worse if there'd been no you, there'd be no verses. And at least I know when the next one's coming. each new chorus sounds the same, and I've only got my heart to blame. I don't need another you song. There you go, dripping off of my tongue. It's not like you're still on my mind, but I start to write and the words still find you. At least I know when the pain is gone, there'll be enough left for one more song. I tell myself it could be worse if there'd been no you, there'd be no verses, and at least I know when the next one's coming, gone, they'll be there, will always be another song. I don't love you anymore, but I'm still singing like before. But at least I know when the pain is gone, there'll be enough left for one more song. I tell myself it could be worse if there'd been no you, there'd be no verses, and at least I know when the next one's coming, gone, they'll be there, will always be another song.
Oh, I love that. Oh no, absolutely brilliant comedian. Seen him a few times. I'll hopefully give you some links as well, so you can check out his page and all that kind of stuff. We've been having fun with this this feed, so I'm really hoping this works right now. But anyway, how are we doing, Dominic? You okay?
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm really good, mate. Really good to see you. It's been such a long time. What have you been up to?
Oh man, lockdown is hard. I've got two kids. One of them's 2 and the other's 4. We're potty training the 2-year-old and homeschooling the 4-year-old. Oh.
Oh, fun and frolics in the Woodward household by the sounds of it.
Oh, it's crazy. The teachers are sending us work and they're taking the mickey. They're sending us messy work to do. Yesterday, the first thing she had to do was put flour in a tray and then write letters in the flour. And then the next thing, so we got flour all over the place, and the next thing she wanted us to do was tie an elastic band to a paintbrush, and then Olivia had to do free paint with a paintbrush and elastic band on it. So we've got flour and paint everywhere. And it's just like, this teacher's sat at home just laughing at us all. It's crazy.
They know what they're doing, don't they? They're just like, right, well, it's my mission now to make it as unbearable as possible for the parents, just for my entertainment. No, that's fair enough. So, do you know, I was trying to remember where I think I first met you, and it was actually for my 30th birthday down in Coventry. I think you were doing the showcase. It was like they had a comedy night on a Saturday night. I think it might have been once a month, and you were the compere.
In a cinema.
Yes.
It was in a cinema, wasn't it? Yes.
It was.
We run it in a cinema. It did work actually, and one of the cinemas they'd taken out the seats and like put cabaret style tables in.
That's right. Yeah.
Run every month. Yeah.
So I remember walking in and we were looking for somewhere to sit, and I was like, "Oh, there's a table right down at the front there. Let's go and sit there."
Yeah.
Didn't even think about why the table was probably empty. So there's me walking in with my bald head. We sit down, and literally your opening line was about my head, and I thought, "Oh, here we go." Which, you know, it was warranted. It was fair comment. But yeah, so what have you been doing? Have you still gigging? I'm assuming you still keeping busy with.
Well, I mean, the gigs have stopped. The gigs, because there's no gatherings. So yeah, I did the last gig. Oh, it must be 5 weeks ago now, is it? I did one in Halifax in a lovely theatre, and that was the last one. So for 5 weeks, I've been gigless.
Wow.
Which has been it's been a long slog. This is the longest I've been since 2001 without a gig.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I'm same boat. I'm a DJ. I work sort of doing the weddings and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I mean, I think I've been lucky in the respect of I've only actually had one gig cancelled per se. All the rest have just been postponed. So they're all still going ahead, but just at a later date. But it is crazy. This is the longest. Like I've got the decks out in the kitchen just so I remember what they look like. It's it's been crazy.
I mean, I was supposed to this summer be starting cruise work, so doing gigs on cruise ships. But now, obviously the cruises aren't going at the moment, but even when they do, it's a scary thing to do because if that cruise ship get quarantined,
yeah,
I could be a month on the same ship just quarantined. And when I signed up, you fill the application form in as a cruise staff member, as a crew member. So if I got quarantined for a month, I might end up having to actually just work on the cruise ship. So I'm doing the comedy in the evening and then serving people coffee.
I believe so, because you have to go through all the safety briefings and all that kind of things, don't you? And you kind of, I think, don't they like put you in charge of a certain area, or you have to do like roll calls if there's an emergency or something, stuff like that.
That's right.
I was, I know this is obviously slightly different to the coronavirus, but I was watching a documentary on the Costa Concordia the other day, and they were talking to some of the musicians and some of the entertainers on there, and they were saying that, a very similar thing where obviously you're there initially as an artist, but you do get roped into all sorts. I looked into it myself, and they said, yeah, we want you DJing at night, we want you doing kids clubs, we want you doing activities for the elderly, and all. I was like, okay, but yeah, if you'd have said, working on a cruise liner, 6 months ago, it's like, oh wow. Nowadays with the whole coronavirus thing, it's like, oh god, yeah, it's a bit of, I think you might have dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy when things start back because I think they're going to let the schools go back, but I don't think the pubs and clubs are going to be open straight away. So we got no indication of when work's going to be starting back up again. I mean, my other job is I'm a kids entertainer as well. So
that's right, yeah.
So that stopped as well. So yeah, there's nothing.
God. Well, I'd say I was talking to my other guest earlier on, and say we pre-recorded the other show. I believe you actually know Toby Hadoke. I mean, I would imagine you would have been on the circuit, but apparently you two guys did a sketch show at one point together.
That's right. We've done 2 sketch shows together, actually. We did one that ran monthly at the Comedy Store called the Unbroadcastable Radio Show. That was a topical sketch show, and we did it as if recording a radio show. So scripts in hand, just in front of the microphones, and whatever had happened that month in the news went in that show as a sketch show. And we did that for a few years together, and we did another one at the Green Room in Manchester. That was a live sketch show, and so we did 2 shows together, as well as obviously working on the circuit together.
Yeah. Well, again, it was. I've not spoken to him for quite a while, but because he does the XS Malarkey nights, and they've kind of moved online, so they're actually still broadcasting Tuesday night shows.
Yeah, I must watch that because it's an odd concept, isn't it? Doing stand up online.
Because obviously, you feed off your audience, and if you've not got an audience there, it's like, well... If
you've not got a ball bloke in the front row, what are you going to do?
There you go, yeah. I mean,
have you ever thought about a transplant? Having said that, you'd look stupid with a kidney on your head, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I would.
Burning Manning. That's Burning Manning.
Oh, I have missed it.
I thought about shaving mine because I'm going quite bald, but my wife's vetoed it. I was going to shave it all off for the lockdown, but she said I'm not allowed.
See, you hide it quite well. I would never have.
Oh, I know, it's really bad though, isn't it? Have you seen that? Really bad.
I look like an old geography teacher if I try and grow my hair. I've just got like a big bald island in the middle and then sort of some fur around the sides, and it's so I try and keep it as close to the head as I possibly can. But
you're taking a lot of shampoo though, aren't you? Just think about that.
This is true, and hair gel, and combs, and hair. Well, I've got a hairdryer, but yeah, we won't go into that. But yeah, I mean, so when did you get into comedy then? Like, how long have you been on the circuit for?
Yes, this is many years ago. I started a double act actually, and first in 1998 at the Frog and Bucket we did a series of sketches, and we used to do them on the Monday nights. And then in 2001 I started as myself, and I started as a character actually. There's a little bit of a type of almost like an Alan Bennett type of a character that I was trying to do, and everyone else was just doing it as themselves. So I just thought I'll try it as me, and so that's what I did. And yeah, I've been doing it since then.
Brilliant.
I used to just do the comedy circuit. I do quite a lot of dinners now and things like that. A lot of after dinner stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be quite a bit of work in corporate stuff. I've done a few corporate gigs where I've worked with comedians doing after dinner speaker. I think the last person I worked with was probably Holly Walsh. We did a gig together at the Science Museum in Manchester. I do quite a lot of work there. But yeah, it's I mean, what see, even with the questions written down in front of me, I still struggle to read them.
Yeah, it's a funny world, the dinner world, because it's a comedy club. Everyone's gone there for the purpose of watching comedy. Everyone knows why they're there. Everyone's facing the right way. Normally the sound is good. Normally the lighting's good. Whereas if you're doing a dinner, people are there for a variety of different reasons. You know, it's an annual dinner, so they're there to chat. They often have a sportsman on speaking who they want to listen, and the kind of
obviously, you know, take hecklers for instance. I mean, hecklers, you know, it's quite a direct thing. You can kind of interact with a heckler, can't you? But when you, I suppose, when you've got like a group of people just muttering at a table over there, it must be frustrating.
Hecklers are easy to deal with when it's going well, because everyone's on your side, and they want you to nail the heckler because they've thrown the first punch.
Yeah.
So what you say is, you know, pretty fair game. But if you're not doing well, then a heckler's a hard thing, because whatever you say, people are not on your side anyway. Whatever the heckler said, they probably agree with, and they're kind of just a bit sneering at you. So it can be hard. It can be hard to heckle. I mean, one of the first gigs that I did, which was just me, was it was at a golf club. Or these guys had been on a golf dinner. It was back in, it must have been 2012 when I first did it. And I went on, and it's not like you've got a compare to get you on. So I just had a DJ, and I asked him to like give me a bit of an introduction. He said, "Oh no, I'll just say your name." So he literally stopped the music and said, "Right, Dominic now." I mean, what does that mean to anyone? It's Dominic now. They didn't know what I was going to be doing. So I went on to absolutely no round of applause or anything. So I tried to engineer a little introduction for myself that they didn't really go with, and then they're just nothing. Every single gag I did was just getting zero laughs, and so you're soldiering on, and then this guy came walking towards me, and the toilets, they put me on in front of the toilets. He just came level with me, and there was no stage. I was just standing on their level, and he just came eye to eye with me, looked at me, and just went, "Bloody shite."
Well, there's nothing like constructive criticism, is there? It's.
I know, and then
Wow.
I went a little bit longer, and the DJ who was behind me decided to start doing sound effects just before every punchline. So just before punchline, he'd go, "Yeah," and these little sound effects. So that didn't help. And then I used to do this stuff at McDonald's. I started this material at McDonald's, and some of the blokes started pointing to a bloke at the bar, saying, "Oh, him." And so I said, "Did you used to work at McDonald's, mate?" And this guy just put his pint down, just came walking towards me. He went, "In a minute, that shirt is going to be red with your blood."
Wow.
And I just went, "Ah," and I thought, think of something to say something. And I couldn't think, and I just say anything, say anything. I just couldn't think of anything to say. And eventually I just came out with something really lame, like, "Oh, you say that at McDonald's, do you?" And he just shook his head and walked back to his pint.
That's better than anything I could have come out with. I'd have just been. it must throw you though, because when you're not expecting something like that, I mean, it's, you know, let's say when you got a rapport going with an audience and you're expecting someone to shout out maybe something like that, but when someone just blindsides you with a comment like that, it just completely throws you off guard.
Yeah,
But,
and it's hard. If you're throwing badly, it's so difficult to get. Comedy's so hard to get it back if you've lost it. Kids shows are different. Kids shows, they come back on board. If you lose a kids audience, they forgive you for it. They, you know, just do something else and they'll get back on board. But adults, they don't forgive you. Once you've lost them, you've lost them.
Yeah, they say that kids have a short attention span now. I think the adults have got a short attention span. Once it's gone, that's it. Fair enough. But all right, I'm going to play some music. I'm going to let you go. Dominic, thanks so much for coming on. It's great to see you again.
Where are you based now?
Well, I'm up in Hyde in East Manchester. Because what about yourself? You this area?
I'm Ramsbottom.
Oh right, wow. Yeah. With the big urn.
With the big urn, yeah. Do you know what? I was looking on a website the other day. Do you know how much they paid for that urn?
I believe it was quite a lot.
It was £250,000.
Wow.
£250,000. It's unbelievable. But I didn't live in Ramsbottom before the urn, but it was quite a lot of controversy because some people liked it and some people didn't. But now it's just kind of part of the town. And obviously we've got the Peel Tower as well, the Peel Monument up on the hill. I don't know if you've seen that as you're driving along the motorway. It's a tower on the hill. Looks like a beach. And that's on the hill, and that's a monument to Robert Peel, who was from Bury, who was the Prime Minister, and he founded the police force.
That's why I know his name.
The Peelers. And you can actually sometimes, if there's a flag on the tower, you can go inside the tower and climb up the steps, but they make you take shoelaces and your belts off.
Fair enough. All right then, Dominic, we'll say thanks for coming on. Great to see you. And like I say, if you want to stick around and watch the rest of the show, I'm going to be eating some ludicrously hot chips very, very soon. So that'll be fun. But anyway, guys, we're going to go to a bit of music now. This is Harry Knox with Roller Express. feedback on it. So let us know what you think in the chat room, guys. Did you like that? Nice and housey. So yeah, thanks again to Dominic for joining us as a guest today. I'm going to try and put some links to these guys' websites, pages, all that sort of thing, so you can go and check him out. He's a brilliant comedian, really funny. So yeah, we're going to have another comedian as well on a little bit later on. We've got Andrew Mayer in the chat room. How are we doing, Andrew? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see how many people we got watching right now. Oh, we got a few. How are we doing, guys? But yeah, if you are there, if you are watching, listening or whatever, just say hi. I'll do you a little shout out. And as I mentioned, we are playing new music on this channel, mainly down to the copyright restrictions from YouTube. So yeah, if you've got any original music that you've done, or even some covers, as long as it doesn't sound exactly like the original, we can get away with playing it. So send it in, I'll do you a shout out, links to your page, all that kind of stuff. We're going to play a few more songs now. In fact, the girl that I played from Sammy Hall, I played a tune from her before, but she sent me two very, very different songs. So one had a bit of a drum and bass vibe to it. The other one is like quite chilled. It's a nice song. This is called Just Shout. Goes a little bit like this. This is Sammy Hall.
There's a blue sky in my heart today. Sunshine in my face. I'm drugged by the heat again, and I can't feel a thing. To the earth I am bound, feeling vibrations, feeling profound. Grows with these surrounds, liberation, healing is one. And I'm sailing through the fields again, emotions running high, spiritual awakening, sensations magnified. Undercover on the grass, deeply sinking into the ground, deep into a trance, cancellation of consciousness. If you never seen it, you missed out. If you never felt it, you missed out. If you never heard it, you missed out. If you ever wanna go, just shout. If you never seen it, you missed out. If you never heard it, you missed out. If you never felt it, you missed out. If you ever wanna go, just shout. If you never seen it, you missed out. If you never felt it, you missed out. If you never heard it, you missed out. If you ever wanna go, just shout. If you never seen it, you missed out. If you never felt it, If you never felt it, you missed out. If you never heard it, you missed out. If you ever wanna go, just shout.
Oh, beautiful. Sammy Hall. That's a name you need to look out for. Like I say, if you want to check out her Instagram, Sammy Hall Music, yeah, get yourself over there. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to leave links to everyone that I have on the show, everyone that's featured on the show, everyone that I interview. All going to go in the description down below. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, guys, I'd love to have you come and subscribe. Just click on the subscribe button down below. Click the bell so you can be notified whenever I do a new video or start a live stream. So, who's in the chat room now? So I've been asking people for questions. I'm going to do the hot chip challenge in a few minutes, which I'm really looking forward to. My pain for your entertainment. So, has anyone got any funny stories to tell me? What have you been up to anyway? What have you guys been doing in the lockdown? I know I ask this every time I do a show, but I want to know what you've been doing. Because as boredom and cabin fever sets in, people get creative. Have you been creating music? Have you been like having fun with the kids? Have you been driving the other half up the wall? Do you wish you had your own separate quarantine away from your family? I don't know what's going on. Talking of coronavirus, one thing you probably noticed is I probably do stutter a lot on here. Well, one of the downsides about being on your own on lockdown is you just don't talk to anyone. So by the time I come to do these shows, my brain's kind of like, I've forgotten how you put sentences together and say things, you know, I'm not used to conversing. So my mission is to try and just be more sociable over social networking and just talk more, because I'm slowly losing the power of speech and being able to string legible sentences together. But yeah, let's have a look at what the figures are saying on the coronavirus right now. So UK, 157,149. That's the confirmed cases. Remember, that's just people that have been tested, and it's the lab confirmed cases, so it could be more than that, could be double, could be triple. And the total number of deaths is top 20,000, we're at 21,092. Still nowhere near as bad as America, so I don't feel too bad. Obviously, you know, every single loss is just unimaginable. You know, anyone that's lost anyone or that's having to go through this, it's horrible. Must be absolutely harrowing. So obviously my thoughts do go out to anyone that is directly affected by this at the moment. Brian says nice voice. I'm guessing he's talking about Sammy Hall. So we've got a couple of questions coming up here. Without breaking. Right, so we've got a couple of good questions coming in. I'm sure I can read them and try and respond while my face is on fire. We're going to stick another tune on now. I did try and play this the other week, but I was streaming it off of SoundCloud and it didn't like the stream. So I'm going to play it for you now. It's quite a techno-y tune. It's a bit more upbeat. This is by Ben Lockwood-Layton. I'll find the name for you after the song. But yeah, check this out. So there we go then, Ben Lockwood-Leighton with The Driver. You can check him out on SoundCloud, he's on there now. Yeah, quite a techno with that. So we've got some questions coming in. We've got Carl Watson's just joined us in the chat room. How are you, Carl? Good to see you, my friend. I did Carl's sister's wedding last year. That seems like such a long time ago. All the way down in Dover. I didn't realise it was going to be in Dover when he asked me to do it. And then, yeah, oh God, it was a bit of a trek. The funny thing was, actually, we had a full-day wedding in Dover on the Friday, and then another full-day wedding in Manchester on the Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, I'm having to manage my bookings a little bit better now, just so I know that I'm going to be in the right end of the country before I take a booking. But good to see you, Carl. Like I say, if anyone else is listening, watching, whatever, just say hello. We're going to do the hot chip challenge now, which I'm really excited about. Do you know what? Actually, I like my hot foods. Anyone who knows me knows that I like my hot food. So we're going to give this a go. So the way this works, I've got some chips and I've got some hot sauces. We're going to go through them one by one, and each time I have a chip, I'm going to attempt to answer a question. It should start off easy, but then it'll get hard. So if you've got any random questions you want to ask me, I've got a couple in here at the moment. Stephen Graham. I'm going to have to look up who Stephen Graham is. I think I know who he is, but I want to make sure that I'm getting the right person when I give my opinion on this question. Let's have a quick look. Stephen Graham, IMDb. Stephen Graham. Oh, okay. Ah, right. Okay. Right. So, here it goes. I'll open the chat window again so you can see it. And you can ask me some questions. Right, so here we're going to go with sauce number one. Like I say, this is reggae sauce. Now, I'm not allowed to chicken out. I've got to put a sizable amount on each chip. Got to be generous, otherwise there's just no point in doing this. So we'll start off with this one. Got a big fat slug on there. Does that look all right? Right, chip number one. I love this stuff. So that's the reggae sauce. Dad's telling me to have some cold milk on standby. He doesn't know me well. I've got to get through this without drinking anything. So if I suddenly run off, then you know I've gone on a milk round. Right, so first question. Do you think Stephen Graham will be a good addition to Peaky Blinders? And have I watched The Irishman? I have not watched The Irishman yet, but I will be watching that. I might even stick that on tonight. I believe that's the one with, it's got Robert De Niro in it, I think, and a couple of other people. It's a Martin Scorsese film, I think. Could be wrong. But do I think he'll be a good addition? I think he will, you know. He's got that kind of gritty British actor vibe to him. Yeah, I think he'll make a good addition to the cast. For those that don't know, I do security. I work on the show Peaky Blinders. It's great fun. So obviously I'm there seeing what's happening and that, and I do think Stephen Graham will be a good addition to the team. So yeah, that's question number one. Keep the questions coming, guys. I need more questions. I've only got 2 more. So I need more questions. Can be about absolutely anything. Factual news, music, anything about me, anything that I do, I've done. Just, yeah. Right, so we're going to move on to the next one. This is Scorching Chipotle, and it's in a skull-shaped glass jar. So that can only be a good thing. Let's have a little whiff. If I can get the lid off. It's got a bit of a kick to that. Right, so going in with chip number 2. I don't even know if I can get this in. It's quite runny, this one. It's not like the other one. I don't feel like I give that enough of a chance. Just pour it on. Yeah, it's got a bit of a kick to it. I like that. I should have got some tissues at the ready because I've got a feeling I might need one in a minute. Because even though I can handle a lot of heat, still gets the sinuses going. Right, so yeah, that one's definitely got a bit of a kick to it. Starting to feel it now. Started to warm up on the tongue, in the mouth. I've just got to remember not to touch my eyes or anything like that because it could all go wrong. Right. Moving on to the next question. Without naming names and breaching client confidentiality, do you have any interesting stories of TV or film stars that you've worked with being complete arses? The nice ones are less interesting. Yeah, I have actually. There was a certain psychic spoonbender, no names, okay, I'm not mentioning any names. He came to do a feature on a drama, and he thought he was the biggest person there. He was rude to all the staff, rude to the catering, the person that was in charge of the person that was in charge of like the green rooms. They have like mobile green rooms, Winnebagos, that they sort of hang out in when we're working out on location. And this guy wanted everything. He'd bark orders. He was saying, "Oh, get me this food, get me that." And it's like, well, hang on a second. You're probably the least most famous actor or celebrity that's here. Yeah, he was the one that was just being complete diva. Absolutely loved himself. Thought the sun shone. All right, the sun shone out of his own backside. But yeah, that's one. There is another one as well. I'm gonna have to think who the other one is and come back to that. But yeah, so that's definitely warming my my tongue up at the moment. That was quite hot. So we're going to move on to the ghost chili one now. So this one's called Dragon's Breath. Again, what could go wrong? So we're going to put a good healthy amount on. Oh God. Are we happy with that? That one's instant. I can feel it already. So for some reason, when I eat hot stuff, my crown goes really sweaty. Beautiful, I know. I'm sure you're feeling better for that information. Right, next question. If you had the chance to go into space exploration, which planet would you like to visit? Well, is that in this solar system or anywhere? I mean, we've got, obviously, with exploration going the way it is, we've found exoplanets around other, galaxies and solar systems. There's the Proxima Centaurus, that's got habitable planets. That apparently they found a couple of Earth-like planets which are similar size, similar atmosphere, all that kind of thing. That could be all right. People are talking about colonising Mars. Yeah, we can do it, but I don't know, it just makes you wonder what the point is. Especially when we should fix this planet before we start going and murdering any other planets. Bear with me for a second. I'm just going to run and get a tissue. 2 seconds. Just talk amongst yourselves for a sec. how was that for you guys? So yeah, we're getting quite hot now. We're halfway through, so we're at the halfway point. But which one would I like to go to? I probably would tag along. I know I'm moaning about Mars, but I probably would tag along just out of curiosity, just to see what they do with it. I know that there's all these various companies saying that they're going to put people on Mars by 2030 and all that. There was one guy called I think his name was Baz Landstrom, and he had this thing where he was going to do the one-way trip to Mars. You probably heard of this. It's going to do a one-way trip, so they're going to send over some sort of habitable bases to get set up, and then fly humans over, and then try and develop a colony. And he was after something like $6 billion in funding to help him fund this project, and apparently he got halfway there, and then it all collapsed, and I don't know if he'd done a runner with the money or if he gave it all back or what. I don't know. Right, on to the next one. So this is scorpion pepper. Now the Trinidad scorpion pepper is about 1.5 million Scovilles. So I think I might actually have underestimated this, because we're actually going up to 2 million Scovilles, not 1.5 million. So this is the Trinidad scorpion pepper. Hope you're all enjoying this. Okay, right. Oh, God. You know it's going to be potent when it kind of, like, gathers around the end. Oh, I'm going to regret this. Right, are we happy with that? Here we go. Right, we're cooking on gas now. That is hot. But you know what? There's a lot of flavour in it. It's really tasty. But it's doing a number on the back of my throat. Oh, Christ. So, next question. 3 celebrities, dead or alive, you would pick to be stranded with. I think... oh God, it's pickling my brain as well. Jennifer Lawrence. A, because she's really pretty. She's funny, can have a laugh. And apparently the girl can drink as well. That's hot. That's the Trinidad Scorpion. 1.5 million Scovilles. So Jennifer Lawrence. I think probably someone like Stephen Fry. Just because of his brain, he'd just be like, you could just sit and listen to him chatting about stuff for ages, because he's just really knowledgeable, and, you know, if you've ever watched QI, he's funny. That's hot. I've got a shiny head already. Oh, that's good. Right, so we're 4 down. We've got 1 to go. Oh, my mouth's on fire. All for your entertainment, people. I'm not going to have a drink. Right. I'm not regretting this at all. Right, okay. Oh, and the last one. Who else would I go with? So I've got an intellectual person with Stephen Fry. I've got Jennifer Lawrence, who could have a laugh with. And then I need someone with practical skills. Someone like Bear Grylls, and that rhymes. Oh, God. This is the chili doing this to my head. I'm not normally a freestyling poet, and I know it as well. Oh, my mouth is actually on fire. So that's probably the three: Bear Grylls, Jennifer Lawrence, and Stephen Fry. That was random, off the top of my head, but there we go. Right. Iris is asking, what am I eating? Just nachos with chili sauce, you know, as you do on a Tuesday afternoon while people are watching and laughing at the internet. Oh, God. I've got a feeling this is going to give me hiccups. Oh, Christ, I didn't mean to pour that much. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, eh? Sod it. So, this is Carolina Reaper hot sauce. Now, you've seen people doing Carolina Reaper challenges on the internet. Makes them cry, makes them hiccup, makes them vomit. All the nice things that you'd like in a YouTube video. And here we go. Sauce 5 of 5 on the hot chip challenge. Here we go. Yeah, that's got a kick. Oh, Christ. Right. Question. Right, my eyes are watering, so I'm barely able to read this. Oh, yeah, we're going back to Brian's question. Naming and breaching client confidentiality. Any TV film stars I've worked with that have been particularly not nice. There's one that stands out. Now, I met this person before I worked in TV. I was working at concerts, so I was working at the arena. But she has done some acting, and when I say acting, I do use that with loose inverted commas. This woman was late on stage, predictably. We knew she was going to be late. Her stage management was awful. She had this huge stage, but instead of having the normal industry standard pit barrier, security barrier around the stage, they had these flimsy little barriers that you just touch them and they fall over. So for that reason, no one was allowed to approach the stage. So we had security guards all around the stage, and if anyone went to approach the stage, we had to politely ask them to move back to their seats. So yeah, when she finally comes on stage after 45 minutes, she starts to blame it being on a technical issue, which was rubbish. And then when her fans try to come up to stage, she's seen our guys asking them to go back to the seats, and then starts calling us out, saying, what, am I not even allowed to touch my own fans? And I'm like, well, here's an idea. Bring a stage barrier that works, and then people can come up to your stage. But the fact that you and your stage management team have instructed us not to let anyone come up, and now you're calling us about it to try and take the heat off of you because you were 45 minutes late on stage. Nah, I don't like you. And all I could think of was when she was doing a certain song that she wouldn't manage to get a cape off in time and she'd get tugged down the stairs again. But I'm not telling you who it was. I wouldn't do that because of client confidentiality. Oh, Christ. On a bike. Right, well, that's 5 hot chip done. Done jerk sauce, chipotle sauce, ghost pepper, scorpion pepper, and finished off with a Carolina Reaper. Right, we're gonna go to a song now while I can still speak. We're gonna have a bit of Zach Lesage. Love this guy. He does loads of remixes. You can turn his hand to anything. I love his stuff. So this is Zach Lesage. Here we go.
No, I won't change my style, 'cause that is what I like. I do what I wanna do, and I won't change my mind. If you don't really like me, then that is just fine. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me, yeah. Change my past, and that's just how it is. Like it or leave it, I don't give a shh. If you don't really like me, then that is just fine. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me. No, I won't change my style, 'cause that is what I like. I do what I wanna do, and I won't change my mind. If you don't really like me, then that is just fine. No, I can't change my past, and that's just how it is. Like it or leave it, I don't give a shh. If you don't really like me, then that is just fine. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me, yeah. Just let me be me, yeah.
Onto the dance floor, you can't go wrong. DJ's playing your favorite song, and everybody is singing as one. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on. Onto the dance floor, you can't go wrong. DJ's playing your favorite song, and everybody is singing as one. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on. Onto the dance floor, you can't go wrong. DJ's playing your favorite song, and everybody is singing as one. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on, come on, come on. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on, come on, come on. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on. Onto the dance floor, you can't go wrong. DJ's playing your favorite song, and everybody is singing as one. Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on, come on, come on.
Zachla Sage.
Put your hands up and dance all night. Come on.
So I've just about regained the power of speech. Oh, Christ. So yeah, if you just tuned in, how you doing? Welcome along. We've got Gary's just joined us. Gary Muscat, good to see you, my friend. Penny's in the place. DK. So for anyone that's wondering, I've just done the hot chip challenge. I've eaten 5 different sauces. We started off with the reggae, the jerk sauce. Went on to the scorching chipotle, which is something like 600,000 Scovilles. Onto the ghost chili, which is 1 million. Trinidad scorpion, which is 1.5 million Scoville. And then finished on this little number, the Carolina Reaper hot sauce. 5 down. And it's taken 2 songs for me to get the power of speech back. So, yeah, great. Oh, excuse me. So, like I say, if you have just tuned in, welcome along. Been doing a few of these shows now. Been having guests on, playing new music. Let's say, if you know anyone that's got new music, you want to send them in. Send your songs in. If you've recorded them, we'll do a bit of airtime for them. Give them a bit of a platform. It's really weird when you eat hot chili. It plays with your head, and you can't. It's almost like being like on a sort of a high or like a drunkenness, and it's. I think that's why I like eating hot stuff, because you do literally get high off it, and I'm just kind of feeling a bit floaty right now. It's great. But yeah, if you know anyone that's got any music that they've recorded, it could be their own original stuff, or it could be covers of songs. Get them to send it in. We'll do them a bit of a plug, do them a shout out, advertise their links, their pages, social media, all that kind of thing. We can do that. So I'm just chilling out. I see Gary's on the dad jokes already. Cheers, buddy. And yeah, so basically the idea of this channel, I'm going to try and build it up, build a bit of an audience. I'm doing this whole lockdown thing on my own. This is like day 36, I think, at the moment. So rather than being lonely all week, I thought twice a week I'll come out and just, have a bit of fun. My tongue is still tingling. It's that hot. But yeah. Oh, is that Beth? Hiya, Beth. Serotonin in the brain. You're absolutely right. It releases serotonin, gives you a rush, gives you a bit of a high, and that's why I love hot food. Yeah, I'm going to put another song on, and then we're going to have our second guest up, Toby.
Always will we find. I try to make you love to everything's forgotten. I know you hate that. Ba, 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 ba. Always will we fight. I kiss you once or twice, and everything's forgotten. I know you hate that. I love your Sunday song. The week's not yet begun, and everything is quiet, and it's always you and me. Always and forever, you and me. Always and forever. Ba, 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 ba. It was always you and me. Always. You tell me I'm real and try to look impressed. Not very convincing. I know you love it. I know we watch TV until we fall asleep. Not very exciting. That was always you and me. Always and forever. You and me. Always and forever. Ba, 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 ba. It was always you and me. Always and forever. You and me. Always and forever. Ba, 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 ba. It was always you and me. Always.
Alex Burtwell there with You and Me's his cover of that song. Great tune. He's a wedding singer actually. I met him on the wedding circuit. Really talented guitarist, fantastic voice, and he's been kind enough to lend me some music to play on the show. So I'm going to drop a link on the description down below later on with a link to his page if you want to go check him out and see what he does. And same with all the people that I'm promoting today on the show. Anyone, if I'm playing their music, I'll put links down in the description so you can go check out their pages. If you've liked what you've heard, go listen to some more of their stuff. It does seem I've finally got the power of speech back, which is an absolute relief. So, as I mentioned before, we have got another guest to play in a second. But yeah, also just a note, if you do like your rock music, guys, every Monday night from now on, Sound Music Radio in Wales. No, Sound Radio. Oh, Christ. So my mouth's come back, but my brain hasn't quite caught up yet. So we will get there. But yeah, Monday Night Rock Show, Sound Radio Wales, from 9 o'clock, 2 hours of metal, punk, grunge, all the biggest tunes from like the last 30, 40, 50 years. Going to be doing that every Monday night. You can listen online, soundradio.wales. And I'll be back on that next Monday night. We did have a bit of a hiccup yesterday with the whole Virgin Media going down. So they lost my stream for about 20 minutes, but it did come back up about 11:15. And apparently they were quite happy with my show. I mean, I got a message from one of the directors. He said that, in fact, he sent me a screenshot of what they sent me. Or what they sent to my friend. This is what they said, which was really, really quite humbling. So, yeah, I've only done one show on there, and they seem to enjoy it already, so I'm going to be doing more of those. What I'll be doing is recording them beforehand, sending them in. So they won't be going out live, but I will be doing a 2 hour. And comedian. I spoke to him earlier today, and this is the chat we had. Enjoy. I will get this eventually. So there's no sound, so we're going to have to try and work out what's happening there. Well, while I'm doing that, let's play some more of Alex Birtwell. Again, very talented musician. Here's another one of his songs.
Tired of being what you want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, but under the pressure of walking in your shoes, and every step that I take is another mistake to you. Take is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. Becoming this, all I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Can't you see that you're smothering me, holding too tightly, afraid to lose control? Everything that you thought I would be has fallen apart right in front of you. And every step that I take is another mistake to you. Second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. Becoming this, all I want to do is be more like me, be less like you. And I know I may end up falling too. And I know that you were just like me, with someone disappointed in you. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. Becoming this, all I want to do is be more like me and be less like. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. Becoming this, all I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Tired of being what you want me to be. I've become so numb. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my my eyes, and something without warning, no, weighs heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world seems right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Lovely day, 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 lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day,
A lovely day.
lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day,
Lovely day.
Just one look at you, and the world seems right with me.
It's alright, my darling.
Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be
A lovely
lovely
day.
day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely
A lovely day.
lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day,
A lovely day. A lovely day. Lovely day.
So there we go, Alex Birtwell with Lovely Day, yeah, cover of Bill Withers. Before that, Linkin Park's Numb, stripped back on the acoustic. Right, I think I might be on the money now. It's quite ironic how, since I've been doing this, I've only had issues with sound. When you consider what I do for a living, that is pretty poor. But I think I've got this now, so we are hopefully going to go into the interview with Toby, and here we go.
And they sort of knitted that together and sent links out, and that was on the Tuesday. So the punters, who would have Tuesday, we got.
You were doing comedy night there, and I was one of the DJs down there. But Excess Malarkey, that's still going now.
It is. It's on every Tuesday night, even in lockdown. I'm told now we were the first, because the lockdown was sort of announced or kicked in on a Monday, and we had a gig due on the Tuesday. We got the various acts who were due on to send us their sets or links to them doing something on YouTube or some sketches that they'd done, and I recorded some sort of MCing to camera from my bedroom, and they sort of knitted that together and sent links out, and that was on the Tuesday. So the punters, who would have been there, got a show, although it was very sort of piecemeal and primitive, but there was a show, and all the acts who were supposed to be on were featured. And then by the following week, God bless Roz and John and Hannah and the people who sort of do all the technical stuff at the show, and book the acts. We had a show, we had a channel on Twitch, and we did it live. We did the night, albeit, you know, people tailoring their material or doing something a bit different. And so I think we were the first comedy club to sort of go into sort of online on lockdown and replace the live show with an online show. We've been doing that every Tuesday since, and we've been doing an extra Sunday show where we've been playing clips from old shows and getting the comedians on to talk about their sets, a sort of behind the scenes kind of thing.
Oh,
so we've adapted quite nicely, and actually, because people don't have to leave their home, you know, audience wise, I didn't think anyone would watch a sort of compromised version of a live show, because everyone's got Netflix and Amazon and everything's on the telly. But what I didn't realise with this thing, Twitch, you know, people send in their comments and they can heckle and they can engage. And unlike sort of entertainment on demand, this is going back to the old days where everybody watches something together, which you had to in the old days because there were only 3 channels. So everybody has a common experience that they can then talk about at work or interact with it. So actually the fact that it was live and the fact that, you know, you had to watch it then to partake in it then made it slightly more appealing than the fact that Netflix has everything and Amazon's got all the films you could possibly want. So we got far more viewers and feedback than I could ever have imagined. So like everything that's happened with XS Malarkey over the past 23 years, it's been a mistake, it's been a success quite by mistake and quite by accident. But I'm happy with that, you know.
That's amazing.
I seem to have, something's happened to my device now. Hang on, let me see if I can find you back again. Modern technology, there we are. Sorry, something happened with my phone then.
No problem at all. No, that's incredible. I mean, what's it like doing stand-up to a camera effectively with no audience? I mean, how does that differ from playing live on stage?
Well, it's definitely been a learning curve. I mean, the very first one I did, I very much aped what I would have done on stage.
Right.
And that required a bit of what we call tits and teeth, you know, plaster on the smile and just go for it even though you're getting nothing back.
Yeah.
But as it's gone on, I've sort of learned, and we've sort of learned from what other acts have come on and done that's been successful. So one of the first acts we had is a guy called Will Duggan, who's a very good stand-up. But what he did was, instead of doing his stand-up, he went, I'm going to make a quarantini, which is a quarantine cocktail. And he basically just went through all the old booze in his house and made these disgusting cocktails. And that was his sort of 15-minute set.
Oh,
and I
brilliant.
thought that's good, because what he's done is he's adapted to the circumstances. It's funny and it's entertaining, but he's made it right for this gig, if you like. So I've got a bit more. I present a radio show on Radio 4 Extra, where I'm much more sort of chatty and intimate and not chasing the laugh every couple of seconds, because you can take a little bit longer. And as you know, you're sort of welcoming people in. So I've started playing it a bit like that and calmed down a little bit. So it's sort of constantly adapting and getting, and you get feedback from these things, and my other half's in the other room watching it as it goes out, because it's on the telly. I don't know how that works, so we're sort of learning as we go along, because it's an uncharted territory.
So with the gags and that, I mean, do you like do you have to sort of, when you do a line, do you have to sort of pause for a few seconds where the laugh would normally be before you sort of carry on with the next stroke? I mean, do you have to sort of take that into consideration?
Yeah, and we've been experimenting, and the jury is still out, because on Zoom, which is how we're doing it, you can have it that you hear the other comics, because everybody who's on the show is there throughout.
Okay.
So, but what they do is, when I'm talking, they will favour my screen, so I can see, but the audience can't, all the other participants. And that can be quite off-putting, because they're all worried about what they're about to do. So you do a joke and you look at them for approval and you get nothing. But the other thing was, we experimented with leaving their volume on, so that if you said something funny and they laughed, you could hear it and then time yourself a bit better. And that was great for the performers. Unfortunately, because of the technology, it meant that the people at home, their devices favour the loudest noise. So if there's a big loud laugh, it then cuts off the next bit of what the person's saying. So it was slightly awkward, but we've tweaked it, and we think this week we've got a way where we can marry it and get the best of both worlds. But that's an example of how we're sort of, you know, changing it as it goes along and working out what works best. And actually, some comics, we ask them, we say, do you want to hear the laughter or do you not? And some said yes and some said no. And that was interesting as well. The ones that, you know, felt that they could trust their own rhythm, and the ones that really felt the need to feed off other people's noise. I think I prefer to hear the laughter. But then again, some of the acts prefer to have the Twitch comments on the side of their screen. Right. And I will not have that, because all it will take is somebody to go, I hate him or something, and that would ruin my evening.
It's a distraction as well. It's hard to kind of, I mean, I've done it on this when I've been broadcasting, and obviously the chat log's going off on the right hand side, and I'll be mid through a sentence, and all of a sudden I'll see a comment out of the corner of my eye, get distracted, and I just stop sort of mid sentence. And obviously they're like, why has he stopped talking? But in my head, I'm sort of trying to respond to this comment that's come up. And yeah, I can imagine it must be very, very distracting. But I say, the thing with the fact that you can hear the audience laughing, it's amazing. I mean, we're all adapting to this, and we're all learning new things. I think it's, you know, I think we'll all come out of this a little bit brighter than when we went in. It's it's been quite an experience. So you've got a gig tonight. Who's have you got on tonight? Who are your guests?
Well, we've got Mrs. Barbara Nice, who was on Britain's Got Talent and Phoenix Nights. We've got Jess Foster Q, who was nominated for the top award at Edinburgh this year. We've got Adam Hess, who is a brilliant, slightly surreal, offbeat comedian who's really, really funny. A guy called Stuart Laws, who's another comic who's very much got his own rhythms and is very inventive. And one other, and I can't remember who that is off the top of my head, but we have 5 comedians, and we've got the pick of the comedians because everyone's at home. So we've had Nish Kumar on, we've had Dave Acaster, we've had Ed Gamble, we've had really top draw comics every week. Tom Allen we had last week, Andrew O'Neill. So we've had really, really strong lineups because everyone's doing it from the comfort of their own home. And I'm constantly amazed at who we get. Robin Ince we had on as well. I'm constantly amazed, and it's great.
That's brilliant. And are these saved as well? Can we watch these back? Do you have them on the site?
Yeah, it stays on. It's on Twitch. It's on the Excess Malarkey channel on Twitch, and I think the shows stay up for a couple of weeks. I think. Brilliant. Yeah. So they do stay up for a bit. Yeah.
Well, I'll put a link to your site down in the description later on. So if people want to go and check that out and join in with you tonight as well, which I might even do myself, that'd be great. But it seems strange because obviously you're the host and compere of the night, so it seems strange for me sort of introducing you, and it's normally you that's doing the introductions. It's strange. I think. There was a time, because I used to work at a club down in Reading, and I remember a time you came down to the Highlight down there, or Genres it used to be called.
Yes.
And
I compared there once, and there was a fight. Was there? I disappeared downstairs to get a packet of crisps or something, and I did a bit of tweeting or whatever, checking it, and I innocently wandered back up, and they went, "Where the hell have you been?" And I went, "Well, that's fine. I haven't missed, because you get a comic on and they do 20 minutes, so I don't have to watch it like a busman's holiday." They went, "There's just been a massive fight between those two tables." But Gordon Southern was the comedian. He's a brilliant comic, and he just rode it out, and he just sort of did a running commentary on the fight.
Well, what do you do? I mean, it's got to be a tricky situation for any comedian to, find themselves in. Heckling's one thing, but when, there's tables and chairs flying across in front of you, it must be a bit...
Do you know what, though? No, I actually think it's a no-lose situation. I think sometimes with comedy, if a situation is really out there, out of the ordinary, and, just a disaster, a fight is a disaster, there's not much you can do to make it worse. And I think that brings out the best in you, and it brings out the best in people's responses to jumping in on punchlines. And the sort of pesky, nitpicky ones are actually worse than out-and-out disasters.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, you dig deep and save it.
Well, I suppose there's sort of banter heckling, and then there's people that are just there to kind of ruin it for other people, which is...
Yeah, it's an exercise in trust. It's easy to ruin. You can ruin a stage play very easily because you and the audience are counting on somebody not going, well, you're not in an actual house, you're in a theatre, you know. And it's easy to ruin comedy. All you have to do is, you know, just jump in on a punchline, or just hiss, or just niggle and spoil it. It's easy to ruin. We do require sort of cooperation.
And that's kind of what you do as well when you do you sort of compare and you're hosting. I know that you kind of set the ground rules for the show and just sort of say, guys, you know, it's not all about you. There's people around you. You know, please make sure you respect the people around you, and you know, all that kind of stuff, like the housekeeping sort of rules.
I'm very much the police. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure you should be sitting so close to each other? I used to come down. I used to be quite hard and quite harsh, but as over the years, I've realised that the easiest way and the best way to do it is to be very open and pleasant and disarming, and then anybody that does want to be a bit of a pillock, it makes them look bad because I've been so amiable. You know, I very much about, you know, this is all about the night, and yeah, it's great if you want to have fun, but if you want to heckle, that's what I'm here for. And so I try and take the flack and soak it up myself. But by the same token, though, but if you're a bit of an idiot about it, you know, I will come down quite hard. But I try generally to be as nice as possible, so that then it actually reflects badly on the person that's trying to spoil that atmosphere anyway. And the audience go, why is he being such an idiot? And so when you then get the rest of the audience on your side as well, that's the momentum that carries you through sticky situations, actually. Yeah.
So I mean, other than having a brawl kick off, what's the sort of worst kind of heckle you can recall? Is there anything sort of particularly bad that stands out?
Yeah, well, there was a guy at the Comedy Store, which is a club I love playing, and I have a regular show there every other Sunday. And he was just really needly. He was really annoying. And I dealt with him, and the audience, I think, thought it was more of an idiot than I thought they did. So I was still being quite nice. I thought I wanted to call him all the names under the sun, because he wasn't witty, and he'd sort of join in, and then I'd try and engage him, and then he'd sort of block it. So it was the worst of both worlds. When I didn't want him to join in, he did. When I then tried to engage him to sort of diffuse it and make it fun, he was then he was not very pleasant. And anyway, so we were doing a bit, and I got the audience back, and I got the rhythm to get the next act on, and it was all going great. And he chipped in something, and then I said something, and it got a bit of a laugh, but I made it pleasant. It was a sort of pleasant put down, and I went, "There you go, mate," and he went, "Ha ha," and I went, "Great." So I sort of went to shake his hand as if to say, "So all right, shut up now, let's go." And he pulled me, and I came off the stage, and I cut my shin open and hit which is just the idiot and the most idiotic thing, and just a sign of what a burk this guy was. Neither he nor I were bargaining what happened next. I've never been in a fight in my life, but before I knew it, I punched him.
Brilliant.
My reaction, because I smashed my shin, cut my trousers open, cut my leg open. And before I knew it, I was back on the stage, having punched him in the face.
Wow.
And so then, never mind Gordon Southern at Jongleurs having to talk through a fight, I then had to get the audience back, who've just seen me punching, and I'm shocked myself. Fortunately, what I hadn't realised, because I'm going, oh my God, they all thought he was an idiot. And so I was really apologetic. And actually, the audience's response was, no, that was, you know, it was still a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
But the awkwardness wasn't about me. And he was taken out by the bouncer, and I went round and I said, look, I shouldn't have done that. And he was still a bit of an idiot. But he was a little bit backtracky, because it turned out he was a fledgling doctor, I think, who was out with his consultants. So he was suddenly, I think, which again, I hadn't realised. I thought they might have a problem with me. They were going, no. And then he continued to be an idiot, and then he was rude to the staff, and then he was rude to the manager. So actually, he was ultimately kicked out, and I felt much, much better. But my initial response was, oh my God. But it really hurt. I've still got a scar there, you know. So so it's total shock. and just the sort of, what sort of an idiot would you be to go, so the comedian has gone to shake my hand because we've had a bit of banter and he's clearly moving on to get the next bit on, or pull him off the stage.
Well, again, it's clearly, someone that thinks it's all about him. Which is a shame. Again, you make it quite clear at the start of your shows. It's, we're all here to see a show. We've all paid money to come and enjoy ourselves, have a laugh. So it's a shame when you do get these sort of solitary people that do decide that it's going to be about them and want to ruin it for everybody else. But yourself and, a lot of your colleagues that I've seen do handle it really, really well. I mean, there's a reason you don't heckle comedians, because you do it for a living and they don't.
And it doesn't happen as often. It's the most common question when people find out you're a comedian. They say, oh, God, how do you deal with heckles? Actually, heckles are not as common as you would think. You sometimes get a bit of noise or a bit of this and that and the other, but actual engagement with heckles doesn't happen. Or maybe, I'm just doing the gigs now that are better behaved, or maybe I've been going long enough that I can shut it down. But I certainly don't feel it as much as I used to. And they're not, they're not things that happen as often as I think. I think punters think, oh God, it must be something that you get every show, and it's not at all. And sometimes a heckle is quite a funny chip in. It's very rare nowadays that I think you really. The worst is chat. Chat is worse than a heckle. You can engage with a heckle. Chat is just like white noise, and it throws out your rhythm, and it makes it really, really hard. And it's difficult to pinpoint. Bigger gigs where they're in the dark, and you go, there's something's distracting me and the audience, but I haven't got a clue where it is. And if you can't see them, you can't engage with them.
Well, that's the thing when you're on stage. I mean, when you're sitting there in the audience, you're nicely lit up, but you don't realise that when you're on stage, you can't actually really see a thing. You can see like a couple of people in the first couple of rows, but after that, it's just a void of darkness, and so it's I can only imagine the frustration that you must go through. I mean, because obviously you do gigs up here. I've worked with you down south as well, and obviously you do the Comedy Store and XS Malarkey. Am I right in thinking you work at another place in London as well? Is it Leicester Square?
The 99 Club in Leicester Square, where I was the regular MC every Wednesday for about 10 years, and then last year I went fortnightly because the travel was killing me, and then this year I've just gone to monthly, and it's very nice of them to still be keen to use me. But what was happening was it was getting to Wednesday again, and I was going, oh God, it's a 5-hour round trip, and it's a lovely gig to do, and I'd always go, I've got to stop doing this, and then I'd go and do the gig and love it because it is a really, really good club. I'd go, I can't not do it, and so I did the fortnightly as an experiment, and still loved doing the gig, but still every Wednesday came around like clockwork. So, well, if I do it monthly, that's 12 gigs a year. I still do that lovely gig. I can still do the things, because what I do is I do other work in London while I'm there. So I'll go and interview somebody, or do a bit of research, do a bit of this or that, or try and tie some meetings up. But it's only 12 a year, and I can sort of plan that slightly better. So that was the plan this year, and then all travel was stopped. So I've only done it once this year, I think.
I suppose if it's not as frequent, it kind of gives you something to look forward to as well. It's not kind of routine; it becomes more of an event, I suppose.
Yeah, well, yes, that's true, and there's always really good comics on, and so I can concentrate more on that, more on the fact that I'm going to go to London, I'm going to go and gig with these people, and that's what it's about rather than the journey. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'll settle into a routine, and I'll be able to plan it a bit better and book my train tickets in advance and do all that sort of thing that makes it cheaper. It's sometimes the pesky side of stand-up that people don't think about is the practical, the planning. Somebody once said, we don't get paid for the gigs, we get paid for the travel, because there is a big difference between getting a train ticket on the day and booking it 3 months in advance. But then if you book it 3 months in advance, you have to tie to 2 particular trains. So I could book the 5 o'clock train to London to be at that gig, but then I might get an audition at 1:30 that afternoon, and you go, oh, that's perfect, because that ties in with the gig, but I've already bought a ticket, so now I have to buy another ticket. So in saving money, I've ended up spending more money. So it never all falls into place as it should.
I'm just noticed the T-shirt you've got, and obviously you're a massive Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
So, well, tell me about Doctor Who, because I mean, I know you do some acting as well. You've been in a few bits and pieces over the years, and I think I've seen on your site that you do sort of chats with some of the cast from Doctor Who sometimes. Do you? Or...
Yeah, I did a podcast in 2013 because it was Doctor Who's 50th anniversary, and I was going through a divorce and was in a bit of a bad place and needed something to do. And somebody suggested, because I tracked it, because I'm a bit of a nerd and a Doctor Who archaeologist, I tracked down people who'd never been interviewed before for DVDs and things like that. And somebody said, why don't you interview somebody from every Doctor Who story in the anniversary year and do it as a podcast? And I went, and I was a bit lost, so I went, yeah, all right. And I didn't think much more about it. Sent a few feelers out, and then ended up interviewing all sorts of people, and some quite. And I decided not to do the usual suspects. You know, people who've been interviewed a lot before, because that would be easy, because I know all these people because I met them at conventions. I went for sort of, say, a famous actor that was in one story in the 60s, or somebody who's got, you know, was a rubber monster in one episode, or a boom operator, because their stories have never perhaps been told. And I interviewed them not just about Doctor Who, I interviewed them about their whole lives. So then there are good stories about other theatrical or cinematic ventures, but also a woman who just come out the other end of a battle with cancer, a guy that when he was younger was co-opted into the French Foreign Legion and forced to serve in the French Foreign Legion, had brilliant stories about. Suddenly it became a listening project, but built around the phenomenon of Doctor Who. And I've interviewed, and I've got about 5 in the can that haven't been released, but there's 250 episodes. Wow. And I was supposed to just do it in 2013, but I carried on a little bit as other people came out of the woodwork. But now I sort of look at it and go, and there are people still coming forward, or people being suggested to me, but I just look at it a bit like those London trips. I go, I've sort of done that now, and it was exhausting. And I look back now and go, I don't know how I did that, and now I've got to do other things. So it's a shame, because I've really enjoyed it, and I look back at the achievement of it. But I've got to do something else. But it was great, you know. It's an amazing body of sort of material. But that was such.
It's been running for such a long time. It's it's quite a phenomenon. The whole Doctor Who series, the whole franchise is just.
And it's made a big difference to my career, because I was a comic. I was the MC at XS and a busy working stand-up comedian. But then I went to Edinburgh in 2006 with my first ever Edinburgh show, and a friend of mine said, if you're going to do an Edinburgh show, do it about something that you love. You know, that'll get you to do the passion to do a show that's an hour long and to make people want to sit with you for an hour. So I did a show about my love for Doctor Who, and it was just at the time that Doctor Who had come back and was being successful again. So Doctor Who was very much in the air, but also I did it as a show that you didn't have to be a Doctor Who fan to understand any of the jokes. So it wasn't a show for Doctor Who fans. Right. And as a result of all of those things, it did really, really well. And it went to the West End, and I got a radio series version out of it. And I came to the attention of the Doctor Who people, because it had always been a very solo pleasure. So then suddenly I'm on the DVDs and doing these sorts of things. And so it completely opened up another part of my career, where my childhood hobby is now sort of part of my working life.
That's got to be the ultimate dream, really, hasn't it?
So, you know, and I've ended up, and I've been in Doctor Who audio adventures with Tom Baker, you know, so I've ended up acting with my childhood hero. I got an email from him the other day, you know, and you still have to pinch yourself a little bit and go,
it's incredible.
If I'd said to my 10-year-old self, out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere, where even somebody from the telly was, let alone my favourite programme, was like amazing, that I would now know and work and, you know, consort with these people. I mean, he wouldn't have believed it. It would have been like you're saying you're going to go into outer space.
It's truly incredible. It really is. Fair play to you, Toby. That is brilliant. I mean, you've done like sort of smaller roles in various productions as well. I believe did a walk-on role in, was it Casualty or Holby City at one point?
I was the walk-on role. I was the guest lead.
Oh,
I was
my apologies.
But yes, I played a character. I was in a Christmas episode, and I played a character who was waiting for a lung transplant. But I had a thing called situs inversus, which means my heart and my lungs were the wrong way round. But that character was a science fiction geek, so I don't know how I got the part.
Nice.
And his whole shtick was that he was a bit of a loner and a bit of a geek, and on Christmas Day he would always watch The Matrix, which is his favourite film. So he's in hospital, but he's got his DVD of The Matrix, and he's desperate to watch The Matrix. And at the audition, they said, I got the script, and one of his lines was, "I'm the world's biggest fan of The Matrix. I've seen it 18 times." And I said at the audition, "I know people like this. 18 times is nothing." I said, "You need to add at least another 100 to that."
Yeah.
But they actually put that in the script. They changed the script.
Really?
So that they said 118 times.
Oh,
because I mean, people, I said any science fiction fans watching that will go, 18 times is nothing.
Do that in a week.
But I mean, I started out as an actor, and I still consider myself that in my heart first and foremost. It's harder to earn a living as an actor, and I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do any of the things that I do if I hadn't dabbled in stand-up and become a busy stand-up quite by accident. So I do a lot of radio acting. I'm lucky that Radio 4 use me a lot. I do a lot of voiceovers as well. But if I could be granted any wish work-wise, it would be to do more of the acting side of things. I did a film last year with Eddie Izzard and Judi Dench and Jim Broadbent that is supposed to come out. It was getting its national release at the end of May, and then it was 300 cinemas nationwide, and then a worldwide release. But that's all gone. That's all been kiboshed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
been
I haven't heard what they're doing for sure, but it's Jim Broadbent, Judi Dench, and Eddie Izzard. I'm much further down the cast, and that is quite a small part, but still nice to be part of, and a feature film. And I've done lots of stage acting. I've worked at the Royal Exchange, and I'd do Shakespeare on stage if I was only allowed to do one thing, but real life gets in the way,
Oh, it's annoying, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
I've been lucky. It's very easy to look at all the things that you haven't done, but the secret is not to get bitter about it. The worst thing that happens to very good and talented people, and I've seen it, is people to get angry about the fact that it's not happened for them in the way that they would like. But it's a very difficult career with a lot of competition and a lot of disappointments, and the thing is not to let those get to you, because everyone suffers. And I know some actors who are really, really successful, and they feel exactly the same about me. You look at them and you go, "You've got no problems at all." And they go, "Oh yeah, but I didn't even get an audition for that major movie," or "Oh, I didn't get that," or "That person gets all the parts that I go." So whatever level you're at, there are those frustrations, and I think some people lose sight of that, is that actually the answer is not to look for happiness in your job, because if I won an Oscar tomorrow and was cast as Doctor Who, it wouldn't fill whatever those holes are emotionally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's not the secret. That I would still then be going, yeah, but why isn't there a Doctor Who movie? Or why didn't I get nominated for an Oscar? It will never give you the happiness that you seek, because you're looking for the happiness in the wrong place. So I think I think it could be very dangerous for people to hold too much stock by their work as the thing that's the answer to all their problems, because I don't think it is. Which is why Whitney Houston, died full of drugs in a bath, and you'd think she had everything. Do you know what I mean? It's the tragedy of it, really. Not saying that my life is a tragedy, but I think it's easy for people to forget, and I do, but to forget how fortunate you are in a way, because there's always those things that haven't worked out how you want them to.
Yeah, I mean, very inspiring words. But we're all guilty of the old fable, "The grass is greener on the other side." We're all guilty of it. But you're exactly right. It's not a case of what you wish you had. You've got to look at what you've got and be thankful that you've got your health and you've got what you have in front of you. It's very, very inspiring words there. Toby, listen, I know you're a busy man. I really want to thank you for your time. It's been great having
Well, I'm
you
sorry
on.
I spent some of it walking up and down the stairs. I was delivering a focaccia bread to somebody who's bedridden today.
Absolutely no problem at all. So like I say, I'll leave a link to the XS Malarkey site down below, so that people will be able to tune into your show tonight.
Brilliant.
Best of luck with everything that you're doing. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have a catch up, and I will see you again soon.
Lovely to see you. Great to see you.
Likewise, Toby. All the best, mate. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.
Cheers. Take care.
Oh, Toby Hadoke there. Great comedian. Really funny guy. Like I say, he's going to be doing his live show tonight on XS Malarkey on their website. I'm going to put a link to it down below. In fact, if you're in the chat room right now, I'll put a little link to the website there, and you can go and watch online. It's absolutely free, and they stream on Twitch. And I think you heard him say in the interview earlier on, they did it the other week, and they had people like James Acaster on and Nish Kumar, a few other big names. They've got some great comedians on tonight. So if you're at a loss this evening looking for something to do, go onto the xsmalarkey.com website and treat yourself to 5 amazing comedians to entertain you on a Tuesday night. And when we do get out of this whole lockdown thing, XS Malarkey down just off Oxford Road. I think it's still at the zoo. I don't know if it's still called the zoo anymore. That's what it used to be called. But yeah, so it's a great show, and sometimes you can go down to the club where they have it, and you'll get like big name comedians trying out new material. So I think I've been there one time. In fact, Joe Lycett was one of the comedians that I saw down there testing out some new material. So yeah, it's I think it's like £5 to get in, or if you want to buy a membership card, it's £3, which for 5 comedians on a Tuesday night is brilliant. So I mean, I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. I've started a rock show, for those that haven't heard yet, started a rock show on Sound Radio Wales every Monday night from 9 o'clock. So if you're into your metal, punk, grunge, all that sort of thing, have a listen. Did my first show last night. It was really good, apart from the little intermission that we had courtesy of Virgin Media and their network breaking down. But really good response. A few of the people really enjoyed that. So yeah, if you want to tune in next Monday, soundradio.wales. Again, I'll put a link down in the description. If you've not yet subscribed, click that red button. Click the bell so you know I'm going to be streaming again, posting any more videos. We're going to be having more guests, more music, more features, like the hot chip thing I did earlier on. My mouth is just about recovered now. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Hope I managed to kill a couple of hours of your quarantine time. And like I say, if you know anyone that is enduring this quarantine on their own, get them to tune in. Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm going to keep it at 4 for now. But I may move that back to 5 o'clock because a few people wanted to tune in, but they're still at work. Massive thanks to everyone that is a key worker working on the front line at the moment, whether it be delivery drivers, working in the supermarket, and obviously healthcare workers. You're doing an amazing job. We all really appreciate it. And all you need to do to help out is stay at home. It's as easy as that. But like I say, I've been David Wicker. Click, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of thing. I'll hopefully be back on Friday. I'll keep you posted on social media. Until then, guys, have a great week. Tune into XS Malarkey, and I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Have a good one. Bye for now.